Alright people, welcome to Matic TV. It's van cam time, or it's office vlog time, whatever you want to call it, it's up to you. Anyway, sorry I've not been on for a few days, a bit of a mental one, party planning and whatnot and everything going on for this weekend. It is a huge weekend, and there's a huge game this weekend. Premier League starts, yes, but before we get into the Leeds game, question for you guys. I posted it out on Twitter as well the other day. I want to get that over to you as well. We'll touch on a couple other little things that have been going on around the club, and obviously get your opinions in by dropping in the comment section below, letting me know what you think of all the topics and discussion. Well, I hit the M60 motorway heading over to the 62, heading over into White Rose country again. That's where I seem to be spending a lot of my time at the moment, over in Leeds. Funnily enough, that is who we are playing this weekend. It just seems to be fate that all my work is based here now, and the football Premier League season coming back with fans, and it's Leeds United. The world works in crazy ways, it really does. Anyway people, let's get into it. United this week. Varana's landed finally. Sancho is here training finally. Have they been the longest signings? I wouldn't say they're like United's normal act where the transfer gets dragged on. We're interested, we're making a bid, it's this, it's that. We all know that these deals were done and dusted, but for some reason these transfers seem to have lasted ages. It seems like we've just signed them this week. It seems like the players have just come into the football club this week and they're building it up like we've signed them. Where City got Grealish over the line, bang, 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 done. Lukaku, Chelsea, bang, 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 done, shirts there. It seems like we made a signing and all of a sudden we're unveiling them the week before the season starts. And you can look into that what you want, to be honest. You can say it's United just killing time because they really don't want to make any more signings or spend any more money. Drag these out as long as possible. Only United can do it this way, let's be honest. Only United can make these transfers drag out as long as they can. But the players are in, we're all happy with them. We can't really complain about them two signings, they are top notch. Moving on from that though, obviously there was rumours regarding the right back situation. I've touched on it. I've worried a little bit. You've seen my fan vlogs on United Stand, you've seen my match day vlogs on our channel, on my channel here, about Aaron Wan-Bissaka. The last two pre-season friendlies have been decent for him, but there is a chance that his position out of that whole back four is the one that is up for grabs. And obviously we had the rumours regarding Trippier and whatnot. It does now look though that United have made a sort of stand and saying in this new structure that we've got transfer wise that Atletico, sort your heads out, we're not paying that value for Kieran Trippier at the age he is. And they've said to AC Milan, look, if you want Dalot, you either buy him or you give us a, I think it's a £5 or £6 million loan sign-on fee, which is quite hefty. By the way, I think we've got the same for Axel at Villa, which is decent business, to be honest. United actually doing decent business the other way. It still annoys me that we can't get any value for any of our players, and it just goes to show the structure that, say, Chelsea have got in terms of these players all being on reasonable wages, like they should be, are easy to offload at decent prices. I mean, 35 million for Tammy Abraham. The guy's had one season and half of it he didn't play, and there's 35 million pound there. God, what is going on? Seriously. Anyway, United look like they're putting the foot down in a way, not in the way that we all would like, and eventually maybe we may get to that, but that does depend on the stupid wage structure and if we are able to offload these players. No one's going to buy them really, because they don't want to leave their wages that they're on right now, and the players are going to kick up a stink. But I want to know your opinions first of all. Drop down on the first subject, which is Diogo Dalot is now looking like he is going to be the main contender to fight for that right back spot with Aaron Wan-Bissaka, which means Williams will probably end up going out on loan. I mean, Dalot impressed last season for AC Milan. We was on here with the Rossoneri TV guys on this channel talking about Diogo Dalot and how well he did, and they loved him over there. Helped AC Milan back into the Champions League, so he's looking at it going, I could easily go back to Milan and be playing first team football in the Champions League. United have got a Champions League right back right there in Diogo Dalot. So it sort of makes sense, doesn't it, that United are going, well, yeah, let's just keep hold of Dalot. Let's not waste any more money. Let's not go through the rigmarole and the stress of trying to make a signing, which it is with United. We all know that. Let's get Dalot on that bench. Let's get him playing whenever he can and challenging Aaron Wan-Bissaka for that right back spot. Scored a great goal against Everton. Yeah, friendlies, but do you know what I mean? We're actually blessed at the back right now. We are blessed at the back. I mean, Telles and Shaw for the left. The centre backs. Lindelof's not a bad make weight. Bailly's not a bad make weight for Varane and Maguire. You've got Diogo Dalot and Aaron Wan-Bissaka fighting for the right back spot. We're having to send Brandon Williams out on loan, so we are really got, I think, in defence, some decent squad depth now. And let's not even get into the goalkeepers. I mean, how many do you need? I'm sick of that conversation, to be honest, so we're not even going to get into it. But I think Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Diogo Dalot, I mean, Kieran Trippier is obviously a little bit better and more advanced in his career than Diogo Dalot. But United then don't have an issue of dealing with a player that's coming in from a La Liga winning team in Atletico Madrid, in Kieran Trippier. First team on the England sheet, first name on the England team sheet for right back under Southgate, Kieran Trippier. They don't have to have that headache of, I've said that Ollie doesn't have to have another headache as well as everything else that he's got to deal with right now, and it eases a little bit of pressure on him by going, Dalot, he's happy, I'm sure, to challenge Aaron Wan-Bissaka. When Aaron Wan-Bissaka falls out and he can come in, I think Dalot would actually be happy staying at Manchester United. So there's one little issue put to bed for Ollie. Is he going to spend that money on that holding midfielder? He clearly cannot offload his midfielders. I don't see anyone buying Fred, McTominay, Matic, Donny. I don't see any of them four going anywhere this summer. I really don't. I think he loves Fred and McTominay, and for that reason, I think he has made it his sole mission to turn Fred into a player. It does look like that, and no matter how bad the guy gets, or how many poor performances and mistakes he made, he's just going to persist and persist and persist until he's proven right, which he won't, because Fred's had enough time now. He's a decent player, but he's not going to be the one that stands in the mould of a Makalele or a Kante or an Ndidi or players like this. He's never going to be that good a player. I don't know why we're not accepting that and maybe moving someone like one off Fred or McTominay out. I mean, he's dug himself a hole with that midfield, and I don't think it's going to happen. I really don't, unfortunately. It's ridiculous that he's not, but I mean, yeah, that's where we are with that. You can say there's depth there, but it's not the right quality and the right combination. You've got Pogba to mould into that. There's 5 central midfielders that can play in them 2 roles. Is that enough? Well, in numbers wise, yeah, it is, but in quality wise and balance wise, probably not. But moving on from that, it is obviously at Leeds United this weekend, and I think everyone's top of everyone's front of everyone's lips. I even want to say I got that totally mixed up there. Then I was trying to describe that, but yeah, on the tip of everybody's tongue. That's what I'm trying to get at. Is the mind process thinking who is going to be playing, who is United going to be playing in that starting lineup. I think the back 4 and goalkeeper, I think they're set for this game. He's going with De Gea. Henderson's not even ready yet, so it's not even a debate right now. De Gea's going in goal. We're going to have our usual back 4, including Wan-Bissaka. I do think that it's going to be Lindelof instead of Varane. Has Varane had enough time? I don't think he's had enough time he'll want to play, I'm guessing. But is he ready? Has he trained enough? I just think Ollie's going to go safe option and put Lindelof in for the sake of it. And say, look, there's my tried and trusted from last season at least, and that should be good enough to deal with Leeds United. So yeah, Shaw, Maguire, Lindelof, Wan-Bissaka, David De Gea in goal, into the midfield. Everyone knows what I wanted. I've got a horrible feeling it's going to be the McDonald's menu midfield, McFred. But there's a chance he may play Matic, he may play Donny van der Beek. It's a perfect opportunity for him, because no one's even going to blink an eye and say, Ollie, what are you even doing there? Because they played well in the pre-season friendly and they are our most match fit midfielders, so why not? Why not? Take the chance. You know what, they may play absolutely brilliantly, and then Fred and McTominay have got no comeback at all. But the more you keep putting favouritism on Fred and McTominay, the more they're just going to accept and kick off every single time they're not in the team. Do you know what I mean? It's sort of dug himself a hole with that one in a way. And for me, I just feel like it's a perfect opportunity to play Donny van der Beek and Matic in there. He's got, no one can even complain. Freddie or McTominay couldn't even come to him and say, why are we not playing? They're not as match ready as them two. And it's a perfect opportunity for them to, if he does pick them, to go, right, let's cement that, let's give him an absolute headache. It's like Rick was saying the other day, nailed it. First 3 games of the season before the international break, it's just 1 game a week. So Matic can easily play all 3 games against Leeds, Southampton and Wolverhampton Wanderers. It's not even a question. Matic can play 1 game a week. 100%, believe me, he can play 1 game a week. First 3 games of the season, why not test it out? Why not go against the opposition we've got, where we may need a little bit more control on the ball, because we're going to get some low blocks, definitely against Wolves and Southampton anyway. Let's put Matic in there. He can control that back line. Donny can push on, add a little bit more creativity. So yeah, for me, Donny, Matic start the game. Simple as. Moving on. This is where I want you guys to get involved. I put the question out on Twitter the other day. Obviously Bruno goes without saying. Bruno sits in at number 10. In front of a front 3 of, and this is the big one, I didn't like Martial the other day, but the guy's not played for 6 months. What can you expect? He's going to be ring rusty. Is he worth risking? Again, he has to start playing games, so really you would say he has to come in, doesn't he? Martial has to play number 9. It just makes sense, doesn't it? He's the one who is actually available. No one else really there. We can't count Rashford or Cavani. Greenwood can play as 9, but at the moment he seems to be more effective coming from the wider area. And that brings me into the question, what I want to know from you guys is, he's had a week's training. Would you bring Jadon Sancho straight into this team? I mean, guys, look, he hardly kicked a ball for England all summer. He came in for 1 game, and look what he did. He was absolute mustard. He was on it from the get-go, and that was in a high-pressured quarter-final stage. He came in and he was unplayable. Quite simply unplayable. Absolutely brilliant. So we know the guy's got it in him to just come in, having not played a few games, or not played for a few weeks, and hit the ground running. So Sancho's kept himself fit. He's now trained on his own. We've seen the pictures there. He probably would have trained by now with the team as well. He's integrated, he's in. So would you start Jadon Sancho, either the left or the right, whichever side? He can play both. If it's on the right, does that mean Greenwood slots into centre forward and Dan James plays on the left and Martial comes on off the bench? Or do you start Martial, put Sancho out on the left, put Greenwood out on the right? That's quite a scary front line on its own, with Bruno behind them. What would you do? Would you play Jadon Sancho? That is the question. Would you play Jadon Sancho, having had no pre-season and having only trained for a week? Are you in a position to say, I don't care anymore, I want the balance of the team right, I want it from the get-go, I want Jadon Sancho in this team as soon as possible? Have you got enough in there to say that he can come in right now? Let me know, comment below on that one. And also, do you mix that front line up? Do you mix it up in a sense of, like I said, Greenwood goes up front, Martial drops to the bench, or Martial goes to the left, Greenwood goes up front, just to mix it up? Because Martial isn't going to get as pressured, he's going to get a little bit more time on the ball on the left. Is that the way to ease him in and get him back into playing form? So I think these little things, I'm hoping Ollie is looking at, I'm hoping he's thinking about, I'm hoping he's not too one-dimensional this season, because one thing we learnt last season when it came to the Leeds game, first game, whoa, 6-2, blew Bielsa out the water, it was fantastic. But smart managers don't forget, smart managers learn. And if you think you can just turn up and play like for like again and get away with it, then Ollie is the prime example of that not working. Pep Guardiola in Ollie's first major season, Ollie had his number. My God, man, we beat him so many times. He had his number, especially away from home. So what did Pep do the next season? Changed his tactics until the season was over and we went to the Etihad and we actually played well. We couldn't lay a glove on City. Both times they absolutely dicked us. 0-0 in the league. Yeah, people said it was a draw, but we didn't even have a shot. Same again in the cup. Really didn't threaten the goalkeeper at all, and they beat us again. He learns. Bielsa did it last season. Bielsa changed his tactics. We went to Ellen Road and they stumped the place out. No surprise, two very clever managers and very tactical thinking managers went out and just got 0-0 draws with Manchester United and moved on to their next target, their next game. That's what these guys do. They go, right, okay, if we try and be clever with this, we're going to end up losing 3 points and they're going to end up gaining 3 on us. So what do? We know that Manchester United over a whole season will not be able to consistently play that way and get away with it. It only works in so-called bigger games. So Pep Guardiola's gone, we'll take the draw and then we'll just go out and win our next 7 games like we do, while United maybe get 4 wins and we end up being 8 or 9 points ahead of them from there. Accept that, move on. Don't lose the big games. It's like Ferguson always said. Win your home games if you can against the top 4 teams around you. Don't lose the away games. That's his mentality. Now I know Leeds are not on the same level as us, but Bielsa's managerial style is of that thinking, and that's exactly what he will do. He's not going to be stupid enough to come back to Old Trafford and be as open as he was in that game last season when we bagged 6. It's not going to happen. So Ollie has to learn, and that's why I think he needs to change that midfield. People say the high energy of Leeds and you've got Donny van der Beek and Matic at the back. Is it too slow? Well, not really, because all you need is quick thinkers on the ball. Because as soon as you pass the ball to a player who isn't going to panic on the ball, Donny, Matic, all they then do is release that ball at a perfectly timed pass. They don't need loads of energy because we're going to control the game. We're going to have more of the ball. So give it to the players, put the players in who actually like the ball and can you do something with the ball. McTominay and Fred can't do that. And they do have a role in this team and this squad and these games that suit them. If you want to control the game, which Leeds are going to let us do, they're just going to wait for a mistake from Manchester United. And you break the numbers down, most mistakes from our midfield have come from Fred and McTominay. If you put Matic and Donny in there, it's going to be a lot more controlled, and all they have to do is play clever, which they do, release the ball at the right times into the Bruno Fernandes, and then we're into that front 4 and the game changes completely. The pace changes and Leeds have got something else to think about. Just where I'm at and just where I'm thinking with this game, guys. Appreciate all the support as always, guys. Thanks for tuning in and watching. Let me know what you think. Drop down in the comments like I said at the start, and let me know what you think of all the topics. The right back situation with Dalot. Obviously, will you play Sancho? And how would you set up against Leeds this weekend? Would you go like I did, be a bit more controlling rather than the high obvious energy of Fred and McTominay? Stop thinking about the opposition. This is a Leeds team that finished 10th. Start thinking like Man United, who should be challenging for the title, on your tactics, and let them worry about you. That's what I say anyway, for God's sake. Anyway, people, Don't forget, hit that like button on the way out, on the way in, or whenever you want, really, it's free. Share the video on your socials, get the conversation going. I can't do as many live streams at the moment, so do subscribe as well while you're watching this video if you're up for more vlogs and matchday content, which is where this channel is sort of leading right now. It is still going to be the normal live shows as and when I can. We got a little special one coming next week as well, with hopefully an ex-Premier League footballer coming on the show, which is going to be good. Obviously the live podcast will be back on Sunday also, and obviously guys, if you didn't already know, I am back working with the United Stand as well now, and there is some big content coming out on there as well, so do get onto there and give us some support on there as well. Let's get the Matic Army back in your man here. Anyway people, for now, that's it. Another van vlog in the bag, and we are done. All that's left to say now and do is wait it out. It's my birthday party on Friday. It's going to be messy. There's going to be loads of people there. We're going to have a good time, and then head into the weekend and United against Leeds. What a way to start the season. Get in, yes, I cannot wait. Come on the Reds.